Horses, on the other hand, we're not quite sure which horses actually got to Canada because a number of them did die on the voyage. But what left France, we know, were Spanish barbs, the Norman horse, some Andalusians, possibly some Arabs, and possibly an Oriental horse. There are 2 shipments sent, another one in the 1670s, and these horses were allowed to breed without outside interference for over 100 years. The horse is known for being strong, having great stamina, and endurance. These horses developed those characteristics because in the early days the farmers couldn't afford to feed the horses during the winter. So they would use them to plow their fields, sow their crops, harvest their crops, and then when the winter came they would turn them out. The horses would forage for themselves in the cold winters. The ones that survived the winter would be gathered up in the spring and put to work again. The result of this was a small horse with great stamina, very strong, and could live on meager rations. During the 100 Years' War with England, New France, which is now Canada, was completely closed off. Nothing was allowed in or out. The settlers were told that if they wanted meat, they would have to eat their horses. These people were so attached to their horses, they refused to do so. They would sooner starve to death than kill these beautiful animals and eat them. As a result of their breeding practices, their numbers rose to over 100,000 by the 1800s. But let's go back a little bit because there's some very interesting stories about the Canadian horse. There was a gentleman in Montreal who owed some money, and he was being chased. He jumped aboard a boat. The boat